My last effort in Adelaide. Very sad day. Unfortunately, I had to come home. This is Coach Road. Dan's ahead of me. Louis is behind me. And we're gonna get ready to absolutely smash it. The wind, it was all right, not great. I mean, wasn't perfect at all. People who came ahead of me had good wind, but I hit good numbers, so I'm happy. So you can see here, go around the corner decently fast. It's good to take him that way. You just gain a little bit of speed. Just have a look at how easy it was on the wheel at the beginning. So I just zoomed up to Dan's wheel. Try not to hold crazy numbers to do it. But I was on his wheel and we're doing so now it's quite high, but it will go down to 330 or something. Suddenly, look, it goes down to 330. I'm like, hang on, this is way too easy. So I'm like, Dan's clearly not going fast enough. This is rubbish. You can see it's quite hard here, but it just didn't seem super crazy hard on the wheel. I remember just thinking we should be going faster than this. What's going on? So I remember that the wattage here started to really go below 360. That was my aim to hold it. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What's he doing? So I was like, oh, well, he must just be suffering. And so I end up going past him. Look at this. It's 280 on the wheel. But it's because we're going 15k an hour. When the 15k an hour, you get a decent, tailwind. So here I come round him because I'm like, oh, he's clearly not going fast enough. So I pick it up to 380, 400. But when I come out the wheel, I'm like, hang on, it's actually quite hard. It was really weird, this, because Dan was saying the same, that even though it's pretty steep, you get a real good draft because we're still going 16k's an hour. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't realise, and I didn't realise, to be honest, that even if you're climbing up a steep wall like this, if you're going over sort of 15, 16k's an hour, you get a good draft, a real good sit. And Dan was like, obviously the watts have come down a little bit, we're just holding 360, 370 now. But even so, on the wheel, it just seems too easy. But in retrospect, what I should have done is actually just held his wheel and just trust that he was going the right pace, because I could have saved a lot of energy here. So you see, this is when it really starts to ramp up. Coach Road is a pretty interesting climb. It's about 2k 9%, I believe, but that includes some downhills. So the first bit is basically you go around the corner and then it's just this steep wall. This bit is 15%, 13%, goes on for a little bit, and then it flattens, and it has just another 10 to 12% wall that just goes on forever. Then you get a flat bit, and then you just have this most disgusting 15 to 20% wall that is just horrible, and just when you first see it, you're like, it can't be that steep, it's crazy. And then it's a downhill, and then it's a little kick up at the end. So anyway, Tim Hedger has the KOM. He did an 840, I think it was, at 340 watts. But he had a good tailwind. He weighs about 60 kilos, I believe, so a little less than 6 watts per kilo. But the thing is, the important thing is actually the wattage, just for the first sort of little bit, 8 minutes or so before you get on the downhill. And I think he held 350 on that, and I think I held 360 or something, just because the wind, or maybe even 370 because the wind wasn't great. So you can see here, Dan's gone on to do a different thing. He's doing Coach, Knox, McBeath, and then back to Coach, which is an absolutely horrible climb. And just there's a little bit of downhill there, but it's still disgusting. So here on the flat part, I'm starting to really suffer in terms of holding the same wattage, but I knew I was it'll be alright, because we will be able to hold high wattage on this steep bit. So Lou is now on my wheel, and I was like, right, we're just going to absolutely rip this up, and then get to the top of it, have a little rest, because it's a little bit flat / downhill there, so I was like, have a little rest, and then just absolutely rip it up that last wall. So that was the plan. Anyway, so we got into my gear. I had a 36-32 today because I fit a road link, so that was pretty exciting. And on the wall, that definitely helped quite a lot, because it's a real steep wall, and you don't, because it's near the end of the climb, you really can be suffering and just having shocking cadence. So you can see it's up to 16%. I'm at 80 cadence, just holding that 360, just no matter what. We're really crawling along now, but I just remember thinking, I'm just holding the power about 350 to 360 and just trying to keep it the exact same. And just ignoring everything. I remember just thinking, this is my last effort. I just want to absolutely empty the tank here and just leave nothing on the road, nothing left. Give it all out on the road. You can see my heart rate's not super high because I try to pace it so I didn't absolutely murder myself in the first. But I want to go hard, but not completely destroy myself, because I knew that it was a long way to go. And the steep wall, you almost want to save a little bit just for that, so you can sprint up it and gain quite a lot of time and really roll over the top, because then as a fast downhill you reach 50, 55k's an hour or whatever. But I mean, it's just one of these climbs that just seems to go on forever. This wall, I just remember thinking, oh my god, this is just takes so long to get, and because it's completely straight, you get no visual respite of looking around and being like, oh, I've actually made some progress. It's literally just horrible wall. If you're going to climb this, I'd say get the lowest gears you can, because that last wall is absolutely disgusting. And even 36-32 wasn't really low enough. Maybe I sort of blew up a little bit, so maybe it would have been fine if I paced it and I'd have gone a little bit harder. But even so, I would have preferred a 34-32. That would be perfect. Just because then I would have the ideal gearing to do it. A 34-32, I'd say, is pretty ideal. So anyway, you can see it's now starting to flatten off, getting below 15%, which is always good, and the speed's starting to pick up a little bit. But you can tell I'm pretty cooked here because I'm just like weaving across the road, just like my handlebars is nowhere straight. I might be out the saddle, but I'm pretty sure I'm just weaving across the road. Often on these efforts, when it's a smooth road and it doesn't get too steep, I really just prefer to sit in the saddle and just keep that same gear, same cadence, and just absolutely hold it consistent. I think now I get out of the saddle, you can see the cadence a little bit lower, and the camera really is flying all over the place. But when there's a steep wall, you sort of have to get out of the saddle just to try and keep momentum. I don't know, it just seems easier. But often my arms get really tired. I think it's because I don't really have much arm strength. But like on those efforts, my arms are really, really dead. I think it's because my lactate's just going from my legs, and my arms are just like, I don't know what happens, but the arms always feel really bad actually at the end of those efforts. Almost, not as bad as the legs, but they feel not great. So you can see my heart rate's real getting up there. Max is 201, so we're hurting now. And it's been a good effort. The thing is, I did a 200k ride the day before. So obviously my heart rate's going to be a bit strange. I did a warm up before I was pacing Tori up Norton's or whatever in the morning just to try and get myself really warmed up for this, because I knew if I just come straight from a 200k ride, my legs would get absolutely cooked. So we're doing a bit of a late night TT, about late afternoon, 4 o'clock. I quite like these ones. I generally find when it gets a bit later, I just really enjoy the wattage. The wattage spikes. The wattage just seems to be a bit higher when I do it later. I don't really know why, but I just feel. I mean, there's evidence to it, testosterone is higher in the evening, but I just definitely feel better. So this now feels flat pretty much because it's like 4%, and this is where you need to get up to 30 k's an hour. Tim Hedger got up to 30 k's an hour on this. I'm just flying along, and I just couldn't really do that. I was trying to save myself a little bit, and this is when it's just disgusting. Can you see that wall ahead? It will just come into focus in about 5 seconds, and you'll just see it, and it's like. Well, you know when Chris Froome lost the yellow jersey in 2017 Tour de France, stage 15, I think it was, 16? Oh, it was just like that. It's just like one of those steep walls where it's just like, in Périgueux, I think it was, just after the Col d'Aspin, and it's just like this horrible wall. Just genuinely look at it, it's just disgusting, and it goes on for quite a long time. And if you're fresh, you can just sprint up it, but after doing this app, you can see the water just going down just because I sort of wanted to save myself. And here I think I actually lost a couple seconds because I changed gear too early. I should have held this gear a little bit longer. And then instead I did a bulk change and then just end up carrying no momentum into it. So you now see what is ramping up. I'm only doing 350, 360 watts, and I remember thinking the end is the top of the wall, but it's not actually for the segment. But I was thinking just empty yourself at the top of the wall. See, it's already up to 20%. I'm pretty sure it's only going to get steeper. 21, 22. Oh my god, it's 23. I'm not sure it's 23, but it's definitely over 20. 9k an hour, 60k, and it's at 420 watts, so that's almost 7 watts per kilo for me. Just literally crying on this wall. It's disgustingly steep, and I don't really, unless you have a 42 cassette on the back or something, you're going to be grinding sub 80 really. I mean, unless you're just sprinting it up as a 40-second sprint. But I remember here just looking at the timing and just being like, oh, I don't think I'm going to get it. I really don't think I'm going to get it. And I really wanted the KOM, and I thought I could get it, but I think in retrospect, the wind wasn't great. I didn't have my tire was at 40 psi or 50 psi when I measured it, which was just dumb. I can use it as an excuse as saying why I didn't do well, but that's 100% my fault. I should have checked the tire before I went, and I probably could have cleaned my chain. So I have all these little excuses, but they're all my fault, and I can't really blame anyone else for not getting the KOM apart from me. Okay, maybe the wind wasn't perfect. I looked at the wind. Tim Hedger and Max Hardy definitely had better winds than me, but even so, I know I could have got it if I just I don't know, been a bit. Hadn't pumped up my tyres and done some other stupid things and maybe gone with a slightly better one. But this is the downhill, so we got to the top of it and it's absolutely disgusting on that top. So I basically emptied the tank, and now I'm just just really trying to get my breathing back and just do this sprint. And I remember just having zero motivation to sprint, and here I should really be out the saddle sprinting as much as I can, but you can see it's just disgusting. And basically the segment ends just at this house on the left hand side of the road, pretty much just here. So I remember sprinting as hard as I can, and then just I didn't really know where it ended. I thought it might have ended at the top, but you can see it's just horrible. You think you've done one wall and then it gets back up to 20% again, and it's just disgusting because the other wall's really taken out of you. I remember feeling completely dead, but just rolling over the top, and you get this little kicker at the end. And then when you see that sign, you just know that the pain is all over. And I was just literally wandering around, just being where am I? What am I doing? And it just hurts so much. So yeah, there you go. Cheers for watching. I'll probably have another couple videos coming out about Adelaide, but then after that, it'll probably be racing footage and some footage from London, which will be not as exciting as here. But anyway, top of Coach Road, beautiful view. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.